Hi everyone, I'm Sarah Childhood Finds, and welcome to the weekly What Sold video. This week is not going to be super impressive because I was on time away mode for all of my platforms, and so sales are not a ton, but I still made sales, so we're going to talk about that and talk about vacation mode on eBay. I am trying to use the microphone for the videos again because the sound has just been deplorable in the last videos. It will just go in and out and it's like a wave and it's just terrible. So I'm going to try this to see if that will improve the quality. As you guys might have known, if you watched my other videos, I have been away. I went back to kind of get a grasp on the undertaking of liquidating my dad's estate. And, by liquidating, I mean the things that we are not personally keeping because you can't keep everything when someone passes away. So, of course, we're not just getting rid of it all. But I am trying to come to terms with how I'm going to handle it and make a game plan of that. And that's why I went back for this trip. And so I was gone for Monday afternoon I put time away on my eBay account from Monday afternoon all through the Sunday into Monday. So a full week that my eBay was on vacation mode and still made some sales. So I thought I would still share this video because it can show you that you still can make a little bit of money, even though there's no PTO that comes with eBay if you're a reseller. And I'll talk a little bit about what I did. And it was a long week. I was glad to get back there. It was very sad to leave, but it is so much of an emotional toll that I am running on empty today, complete and utter empty. It is such a surreal thing because as I go through all of the items, you have memories that hit you, and not to make it even worse, it's not just my dad's memories, it's three generations of men that it's my brother, my dad, my grandpa, all of their stuff is within that area that I'm going through, and it is just a lot, and it was absolutely taxing and tolling, and I didn't realize how much until I got back. And it's hard to leave. I am sad that I didn't stay longer, but I'm planning another trip back and planning more videos about that. I'm going to tell you about the things I'm selling through that, and because it's going to be a whole new class of items, guys. I mean, a whole new class from what I sell. So I think it'll be interesting for people to see. Other than that, that's all I really got. I'm a little scatterbrained. I am little scatterbrained. So when I put it on time away, I allowed sales. You can do that if it's 2 weeks or less, is what I saw on eBay. So that lets you still get some sales even when you're not present. The big thing I want to warn you about, though, is even though there's a banner everywhere saying that you will be away for this time period, you're still going to get 4,000 messages. And I sometimes they're not as bad as others. Most of the time it's totally fine because a lot of the buyers were just great. They didn't care. They understood that I wasn't going to be shipping until later, but I got so many messages asking when I was going to ship it, and I was just getting frustrated. And I definitely let customer service slip a little out the window because I am going through all of my dead family stuff, and I'm having people getting pissed off because their 4 dinner knives have not shipped yet. So sometimes in life, I took a step back, and I wasn't terrible with customer service. I just wasn't as good as I tried to be. And it was just a little bit of a moment, guys. So it's okay if you have those. Let me tell you, I had one of those moments, but most of the time it's totally fine. There's a banner on your page, there's a banner on the items that let them know you're going to be away. And if I just kept offering to cancel if it wasn't soon enough, and that seemed to work most of the time. So I mostly tried. I was just a little more sassy than I usually am on that. And and I also believe I didn't list anything, and you can accept offers. I know that for sure. But I do feel like if you send offers, I have seen that could possibly affect the handling time and it won't fall under your vacation. And I also think that if you list items, that it might not fall under the vacation. But I'm not 100% sure, guys. I have to look. I meant to look again before this video. But just keep that in mind. I don't list or really do anything besides accept offers on vacation time. And I did counter some, and it worked out okay. So that's just my 2 cents. But let's start with some sales. This is Hoka One Gaviota gray lace-up sneaker men's shoes. I did like no cleaning on these because I hate shoes. And they sold for $25 and got positive feedback, so I'm happy with that. I got these from my source. I just cleaning them. I know that some people can make them look so nice. These are really surprising, probably for some of you guys. This is Nike Mag Steps magnetic insoles, and I do believe this is for pain, and it sold for $58.95. These two insoles sold for $58.95. So just look up everything, guys. Today with my source, we were chatting and we were talking about Starbucks mugs, and he was asking if they're worth anything, and I said, not often. You know, there are some, so I always look. But of course, the one we both thought wasn't going to be valuable because it was just some basic Christmas mug ended up being the one that's probably going to be worth over $25. So even if you've been doing this for years, everything can always surprise you with what it's worth. This is 1993 Arthur Court Bunny Rabbits picture frame pewter stand-up tabletop, and it sold for best offer of $13.50. I typically get these frames for $1 or $2, and they do take some time to sell, but they're really easy. I tend to put them in my 1084 boxes, these smaller decorative frames, and it works really well. And I haven't had any breakages or anything. This is a Care Bear 2004 Blue Talking Rainbow Star Thanks a Lot plush, and it sold for $18. This has been listed for quite a while, so I just ended up taking this offer, and I think I paid $3 for it. $2 or $3 if I can remember right. And again, guys, I apologize. I am scattered today. I am just trying to, it's the catch-up day after you get back. And, oh man, I think I shipped 50 packages this morning. Or no, 50 listings worth of items this morning. And it was just a lot. So my brain will catch up. Just got to give me a day or two. This is a Scentsy Aspire diffuser shade cover white shade only. This sold for best offer of $21, and this item is why I tend to, so you guys know I can be block happy, but I don't tend to block people if they don't pay for an item, because I will say it's happened pretty frequently where a buyer will come back and say this happened or that happened, or they thought their payment was automatic. That's what happened with this one. They thought the payment was automatic. And even if those are gobbledygook, almost always when they do reach out and say that and then make an offer again, it works out. So knock on wood, hopefully that continues. But that's why I don't tend to block non-payers, because it has worked out in the past. So I figure leave that avenue open. This is a 1991 Playmates TMNT that's not right. Or maybe because it's Raphael. So maybe that's what it's supposed to be. But Green Teen Beret action figure Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. This sold for $7.86 on my sale price. So not a lot, but this came out of my big action figure tote. So I have like 51 cents into it. This is really a surprising piece. This is an Indianapolis 500 Indy Race souvenir copper tone metal ashtray. 100%, I would not typically look twice at this. It sold for $23, and guys, look how little it is. And it just, oh, it's not going to load. It's like 3 inches big. And it just looks like one of those little kind of tchotchke ashtrays, because a lot of ashtrays aren't worth a ton of money. But I mean, $23 for this tiny ashtray? I'm all in for that. That was really a surprising thing. So again, look up everything, I suppose, is what we're learning today. And this is Stanley Roberts Rogers Ridgewood stainless steel service for 4. There's 20 pieces. And it sold for $19.71 on my sale price, which I only have a couple bucks into it, so it's not bad at all. This is a time where I tend to not part it out. Like, this wouldn't have been worth parting out. It was it just wasn't going to be. This is a Colt Marshall 38 Special 3-inch barrel. And this my partner used while he was in gunsmithing school and doesn't need any more, so gave it to me to sell. We couldn't find any 3-inch examples on eBay, so we just went off some similars, and it sold in a few days for $100. This is Rosie the Riveter World War II shirt slacks overalls sewing pattern. And it was just a very cool sewing pattern. It ended up selling for $12.60. This is a CPI beaver plush with pride, stuffed animal Canada necktie. And it sold for best offer of $10. It's nothing special, but it's a pretty decently cute little plush. And $10 is $10. I probably paid $1. Here's some of my Royal Albert, of course, and it's the Old Country Roses coffee teapot. This is the 10-inch one, and it sold for $58 on a best offer, and it sold very quickly. This is a lot of 8 International Homes and Edward Spring Garden dinner forks. This sold for best offer of $15. Again, I just don't like silver plate. It's one of those things I don't enjoy it. Stainless or bust. This is a Department 56 Northern Lights tinsel mill. And this one did sell for $34. And it went to someone that has purchased a previous item from me. And, it just came from my Department 56 buy. And here's another one. And this is the Halloween treats for the kids. It is basically in brand new condition and sold for $20. This was a Lucas Oil Speedway, Wheatland, Missouri, camo American flag mesh hat, and it did sell for $19.95. It took a few months to sell, but I just waited for the right buyer, and it sold for full asking. I probably paid, I think it was $1 or $2. I can see the exact yard sale I got it from, but I can't remember the exact price, but it was $1 or $2. And this is 2010 Mario and Luigi Super Mario plush toys. And it did sell for $18.95, the full asking price for both of these. I had 2 sets of these, and this is the last set to sell, but I got these for $1 each at a yard sale. This is a vintage New York Yankees soft-sided cooler lunchbox. And this one did sell for, I'm trying to look because I saw a couple little stains on it. Okay, I showed the stains in the picture. I feel better now because I was thinking, I'm like, oh no, it got dirty in storage. But besides the point, it sold for just under $15, and I think I paid $1 for it. It's been listed for a while though. This I just picked up for 50 cents, and it's a Lila and Jack Levy white gray striped elephant security blanket with a rattle, and it sold for $13. I think I already said that, but this is a cute little frame. It's a gold tone enamel square picture photo frame, and it sold for a best offer of $14. Here's another piece from my Department 56 buy, and this is good. I should total up how many of those items I've sold. I'm almost at the point I can condense now. I'm starting to feel like I can breathe again because the big ones, they were just stacked up in my room, and it was always just absolute Jenga every time it fell, and not good storage. That's why I got the storage unit. And this is Department 56 Carnival Carousel Lights. This was a lot of 2 of them, and it sold for $28.95. And here's a Jack of the Lantern, excuse me. And it sold for a best offer of $16. I'm going through these kind of quick because they are pretty basic ones. It's nothing super exciting this week, but I am so glad. I was incredibly surprised by the amount I did sell while I was gone. I did not expect to gross nearly $1,300 over the week. I expected maybe $300 to $400 is what I'd make, in profit, but I made some more than that, and that really is going to help because, guys, it is about time for taxes. So getting ready to pay that, bracing for impact on that. And this is a National Stainless Savita flatware. It's 7 dinner forks, and it sold very quickly for $40. This is a UPS, a worldwide delivery service truck, and it had a little honking sound, and it did sell for the full asking price of $20. It made me smile that this is going to a P.O. box, just because it's UPS. Dull things that make me smile. And I got that for $2 at an estate sale. It's been listed for a little while. This I also got for a couple dollars at an estate sale pretty recently. You've seen the other pack. And this is Jockey Life Men's Medium Bikini Underwear 5-pack. And so I wanted to talk about what a buyer asked me to do with this. They asked if I could send this later because they were going to be away. And honestly, if it's one, I don't have that request a ton. And I tend to do it because for me, it doesn't really affect my metrics enough because I pretty much have no other late shipments besides if someone asks. And I have heard that if you like screenshot the message and reach out to eBay on Facebook, that you can possibly get any sort of defect removed for late shipment. So do keep that in mind. You know, it's good customer service, and it doesn't hurt me in any way to hold this one item. It's fine. If I'd was worried about my metrics at all, I wouldn't. But I do believe you can get it removed. I'm also on the 3-month one where if you sell, I believe it's over 400 items in a 3-month period, you get evaluated in a 3-month period instead of the year. If I was still in the point that I was getting to where all my defects were present for a year on my seller status, I probably wouldn't do it, and I would tell them I'd have to cancel the order because I just get too nervous with that. A year is a long time to have a defect, and it used to be that it was 3 or 4 out of stock or damaged or any sort of items, if you couldn't find them, would just bring you down from top rated to above. So the year is hard. But if you are a higher volume seller like me, it is nice that you only have to worry in 3-month periods. So any defects I had in January are about to fall off. This is a hand-tooled child belt size 18, and this was just a vintage belt, but it was a very nice looking one, and it sold for $21.95. It did take some time to sell, probably 6+ months, but I only paid $1 for it at an estate sale. And this is The Donner Party, video documentary film survival American experience, sold for $11.95. It was brand new. And we're on our last two, and this is Fontanini Gaspar Wiseman King 12-inch scale. And I put 12-inch scale, not that it is 12 inches, because this one is smaller than 12 inches, but it goes with the 12-inch nativity set. And this one sold for the $60. I think I already said that too. And that came from an estate sale where I got a bunch of those. And this has been listed for so long. Years. Absolute years. And it's a New York Yankees MLB laser etched glass paperweight. I do not tend to pick these up because I know they sit forever. Hence this. And it sold for $10 and like 67 cents. So I made very little on it. I mean, not very little, but I made some money because I probably only paid $1 or $2, but it took forever to sell. Years, but it sold. It wasn't that big, so it's not a huge deal. So guys, that's all I have to share. I promise the next videos are going to be a little better. I'm probably not going to get a second video out this week. I just do not have the wherewithal in me to probably make it, but I will try for 2 next week, guys. So I will talk to you then.